Hello, Shay.
Hey, Elias. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Good to be with you. And hello, people. Yeah. Um, for me, this podcast is special because uh, the primal level of is that you are my friend, and that is like connection that is very valued for me, and that we are like we are also colleagues from the like deep sense of nervous system somehow. And today I want to talk with you about relationships, about safety in relationships from the point of view of neurobiology. And I'm really looking forward to what it will be today.
I am too, and I really appreciate you inviting me here. And I think that the energy and information flow between us is really special, and that people who watch or listen to this podcast will get some of the benefit of that.
Yeah, yeah. I was thinking from which point to start, but it always getting me to the same point. Uh, the safety I'm experiencing with you and how our relationship is changing my life and how it's creating space inside of me and just the knowing that you are, yes, I'm in Slovakia, you are in US, and just the feeling that we are is doing something great in my life. And it reminded me that many people don't have something like that. And I think it's important to talk about what is giving us this opportunity to have like real friends, or maybe in the start just people around us we can say like hello, how are you, or I wish you a beautiful day, and whatever, just like some people around us.
That's where it starts.
Where it starts, yeah.
That's how it started with us. Hello. I like what you said. I like your picture.
Yeah, yeah,
Simple things.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I've had, I've been lucky enough to have a number of integrated relationships throughout my life, and still highly value each one, even though most of them are in the past now.
Hmm.
Um, and it's been a long time because of the medical and psychiatric abuse. The effects of the trauma cut me off from pretty much everything. So it's really refreshing, and I'm really thankful to have this kind of a connection with you. And having been without one for so long, I really feel the difference that it makes in my quality of life. um, it makes everything easier.
Hmm.
I have more energy to focus on things that are important to me rather than trying so hard to create the kind of connection that all our nervous systems need, and mine has been desperate for years.
Hmm. Yeah. For me, it's like new to be really feeling and be connected to my nervous system and to somehow live from that depth of it. how to say it,
Mm.
yeah. And on one side is like great, beautiful, and wow, refreshing. And on the other side, it's like more showing where I can feel safe or where I am feeling safe in the environment, in the other relationships, or sometimes group.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that for many of us, it's also scary to feel from this level because it's like it's bringing us to be really true to ourselves, but also the
Mm-hmm.
others,
Yes.
and also the need that the others should be in truth with us.
Yes. It's a lot.
It's a
And
lot.
it's always changing too.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people haven't experienced that because maybe it wasn't something people did in their families. It wasn't ever modeled.
Mm.
And so much of the Western culture really teaches us to suppress our true selves and our needs, and especially our desires, in exchange for conformity, getting along, going along to get along.
Mm. Yeah. Now I'm feeling something like a good quietness somehow, like, and how it's important to be able just to experience together this quietness, just to be able to be with each other. Yeah. Because in the beginning, I was like, oh, we can talk about this and this and this and everything. And I am now like more like, hmm, how to be able to get to this like more relaxed state with our nervous systems.
Yeah, it's easier, isn't it, as time goes on, because we each have that experience to build on.
Mm,
Each time that we've talked or exchanged a voice message, we've been building that pattern of steady acceptance and mutual regard and empathy and compassion, all the things that help us feel safe
yeah,
and being believed about your lived experience.
that's a big part of it. Yes, to feel seen and to feel be felt,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
believed.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that really strikes me about our connection. You have never pulled back from anything I've shared,
Mm,
no matter how awful. Um, you've been able to respond. It hasn't overwhelmed you, as far as I can tell, anyway. It
mhm,
hasn't overwhelmed you.
yeah,
You have the internal resources to hold space for even the worst things.
mhm.
That's really important to me.
Yeah, and I felt the same with you.
That really drives the sense of safety, doesn't it?
Hmm.
Knowing that whatever you experienced, it's okay with me. And
Hmm.
however you express that, it's okay.
Yeah, and it's reminded me when I work with people about 30 years now, and I went through many phases how to be with people, and more I see and feel that this is the primal part with working with people, that give give time to experience how are we feeling. It's like, I think I was 36 years old when someone was really asking me on training somewhere. I think it was process work training, that how are you feeling? Like, really, how are you feeling? And I was like, what?
What do those words mean anyway?
What? And one part was like, wow, and the other was like, oh shit. Because then I realized that no one ever asked me the question before.
Mm.
Like, really. Not just like, oh, what do you want? It's like, oh, wow. I don't
It's a
know.
long time to wait for that question.
Yeah.
How did you answer?
I didn't answer.
Too
The first time I didn't answer because
much,
it was
huh?
like so many things that it was like, yeah. And now I understand that how many things was what I was supposed to feel.
Mm.
Yes. What I cannot feel. And then was the third part that, yes, and I am feeling also this. And the third part was mine, the last part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably not an unusual response to that question.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people would be overwhelmed and, like you said, wonder, what am I supposed to say?
Mm-hmm.
What am I feeling? What am I not feeling? How do I even have words for what I'm feeling?
Yeah. And last years, when I am like looking at how many things we feel and are not ours, when I'm
Mhm.
studying systemic constellation, all this stuff, how many feelings and things are around me, or some of them inside of me, that other people didn't want to feel when we grew up, or whatever, we are in some relationships. And that was like a big part of it, that I took inside to me, something that wasn't mine,
Mhm.
because someone wasn't able to feel it, and I wanted to be in the relationship, so I took it in.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to take on the burden to
Hmm.
maintain that connection when the connection isn't safe.
Yeah, yeah. And that is one part of this podcast. How can we know or feel that we have safe connections? What are the signals that they are? What are the signals that they are not?
Mhm.
And it's like,
Yeah.
it's a great topic, but also a bit scary.
Right. Yeah, especially for people that don't have the experience, or they've experienced so many unhealthy, unintegrated relationships.
Yeah,
They don't know even how it feels to connect at the safe level.
yeah, yeah. It's not in the menu.
Right. Never been on the menu.
Yeah,
Yeah. So it helps to know, well, first of all, to have a well-developed felt sense, the internal, the gut sense.
Mm-hmm.
We're born with that, and we unlearn it in unsafe environments where we have to conform and obey
Mm-hmm.
instead of have our responses to what's going on, especially if there's injustice, which is the case in toxic families.
Yeah.
So we lose the ability that we're born with to read our bodily signals and respond appropriately. So we need to regain that. And really, once we're really well connected with our nervous system and we can interpret it well, it keeps us safe. It takes in so much data from every interaction and determines whether we're safe in that moment or not.
Mm-hmm.
Mine's developed now to the point where it speaks in sentences. I think I told you about this one doctor. The first time I saw her, she walked into the room and my body said, flat screen. Yep. That's not your doctor. Next. And then the next time I went to the same office, I saw a totally different doctor. He walked in and my system said, who turned the sunshine on?
Oh.
And he's been my doctor for closing in on 4 years now.
Mm-hmm. Those are the signals.
Yes. Yeah, the body knows. It picks up on affect and uh, intention and focus and uh, the the speed of the speaking and the pauses and the inflection and the wrinkles around the eyes. So many signals we get, especially face to face,
Mm-hmm.
that tell us whether a person is safe or not. And they may not be a harmful person. That doctor might never have intended to cause me harm. So she may not have been unsafe in that way.
Mm-hmm.
But because she was a flat screen, that meant, basically she's burned out.
Yeah.
She's in functional freeze, going through the steps of her day, but she can't connect. She
Yeah.
couldn't see me as a person. And so she couldn't understand me or do what I needed. If you
Mm.
can't understand somebody, you can't help them. And she was focused on her protocol. She leaned over my back and started poking my back, looking for trigger points so she could diagnose me with fibromyalgia. And I knew that's what she's doing because doctors had done that to me before, but I couldn't feel anything because I was so dissociated because she just walked up and started poking me.
Wow.
And she kept asking, does this hurt? And I kept saying, I don't know. I'm so dissociative, I can't tell. And she didn't get it. She didn't go, wait,
Ooh,
what? She just kept trying.
that's crazy.
Yeah, that's not healthcare. And it really wasn't her fault. She was doing what she'd been taught to do.
Yeah.
And I know in that practice, the doctor is supposed to have 7 minutes with each patient, a pain clinic. So they're rushed and stressed and trying to get all the boxes checked. So it's bad for them and bad for the people who come to them for help.
There's no time to breathe in and breathe out in this
Yeah,
time.
yeah. So the doctor I see now, um, have been seeing all these years, he's able to connect, he's able to listen, and he schedules me at the end of the day, so he has more time. There's
Mm.
nobody after me, so he doesn't have to worry about getting through.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets in trouble if he, doesn't get through everybody in those 7 minutes during the day, and it backs up really quickly. So
Mm,
I'm the last one. Sometimes that means I have to wait. I might have an appointment scheduled at 2:30 but not see him until 3:30,
mm-hmm.
and he apologizes for that, and I'm like, "You know what? You're worth the wait. Doesn't bother me a bit."
Mm,
And then we have the time that we need, and that makes all the difference to my nervous system and to his. David Bedrick, you've probably heard him say this too. The healing relationship is always two-way.
mm-hmm.
And that goes for doctors too.
Yes.
The doctors I work with are able to connect. They've been chosen for that reason and to listen and to empathize. But I also do the same for them.
Mm,
They tell me little things about, challenges with traveling with two children under the age 5. Things like that. And as a former mom, I can identify and give them the empathy for that. Like, wow, yeah, that must be really hard. And one time that doctor, as we stood up and I had listened to him talking about traveling with a 1-year-old, he said, wow, I really needed that.
mm. To meet
And that,
like people.
yeah, yeah. And I felt so good about, giving him some of the support back that he's given me over the years.
Mm, yeah. When you are talking about it, it's like how we need to be more aware which kind of people we choose into our life.
Mm-hmm.
And especially when it's someone from the treatment world, especially them.
Yes. Yeah. For me, after the psychiatric and medical abuse nearly killed me and put me in a year of near death, doctors and other healthcare practitioners were my primary social contact. This was during the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. So I was extremely isolated and I had a lot of doctor appointments. And I quickly learned how to pick the doctors that can actually listen and connect, because the ones that couldn't caused me more harm.
Yeah.
They made things worse for me
Yeah.
just by not understanding.
Yeah. And so many people are not too used to feel what is the safe connection. We
Mm-hmm.
was like, and what is scary for me is like more and more people are alone, like real alone.
Mm-hmm.
They are not going so much out, or when they are not with friends, because for me it was also the Facebook helped me in some way. It's like
Mm-hmm.
with this status, like unknown known, like someone who I say hello, and then it's like, what is a friend? And in Slovakia, we have like two words for friends. It's like friend, and we are somehow together going for a beer or something like that. And it can be like many people. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like a deeper sense of it, like really friend. So somehow who is like really connecting. I can say to him or her anything, and I know it will be okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a spectrum of like, this is like I have like really connection with just one person who I can say anything and I know it will be okay. And when I'm like feeling the society and working with people and everything, that I think that most of the people are somewhere here.
Mm-hmm.
And wow, wow. And
Yeah,
then
it's
there
really
is,
sad because it affects our quality of life
mm,
so much. We evolved for safe connection, and maybe not every relationship can be as safe as the kind of connection we've developed intentionally. We chose this together.
Intentionally. Yeah.
Yes. And that's part of what makes it safe. We've discussed this is the kind of relationship we want here.
Yeah.
And it really counts.
Yeah.
But even having one can make such a big difference.
Mhm. Mhm.
And the hard part is finding somebody else who wants that kind of connection too.
Yeah.
Well, we all want it in our bodies,
We were
but
made
whether
for it. Mhm.
yes, but whether we're conscious of it and actually strive for it is a different matter. When you're so caught up trying to make enough money and get on the bus and get home in time and pay the rent and all those things, it's hard to have energy left over
Mhm.
for building safe connections.
Yeah. That is one part that everywhere I go, like for a coffee or whatever, I'm always meeting people there. And it's like when I go there, I know that mostly I will have a nice connection. We will
Mm-hmm.
say a few words and everything, and it's like friendly environment.
Mm-hmm.
And many of my friends are wondering, like, how are you doing this? Why is it so when we are going there, they from the door say hello, and we say hello, and what do you want? And sometimes they know what I know already, or something like that. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like really boosting me up. And I think that it's good to know that in the beginning, it's really intentional. I want to have these kind of experiences. I want to have something like that in the places where I go, because I am not going there only just for coffee or beer or something like that. It's like
You
it's
could stay
nonsense.
home and
Yeah, yeah,
have less money.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
So if you're going for the social atmosphere, you want to make the most out of that.
yeah,
And like you said, it gives you a boost. When you leave a situation like that, you feel better, don't you? You feel good inside. You
yeah,
feel like calm and energized at the same time.
yeah. Sometimes like it was like something was happening to them, and it was like, oh, I sense that you had a hard day or something like that. How are you?
Mm.
And it is like two-way process.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey,
And they
I
really
seen you.
appreciate.
Thank you that you are caring for me also when you have a hard day.
Yeah. That being seen is so valuable to somebody who's working in a position like that. And it'll affect the next person in line and the next person in line and the next and
Yeah,
each of the people that those people come in contact with.
yes. Because I have seen when I had this conversation, it was 2 weeks ago, with the woman who brought me coffee, and I was like, hey, what is going on? And he's like, hmm. And when she went to the other person, she felt better. The
Yes.
energy shifted and was like,
Hmm.
wow, it's worth it.
Yeah. It's like ripples in water. It spreads.
Yeah. I want to know from you more about neurobiology.
Okay. Give me your uh, most pressing questions.
Hmm. What is it?
What is it?
What can we what can people imagine, or how can we like lean in the topic of neurobiology? What is it?
Well, the kind that I focus on is interpersonal neurobiology, also known as IPNB or relational neuroscience. And it's a large umbrella that draws from many other scientific fields like anthropology, stress biology, psychology, attachment theory. And it shows us that our brains and minds and relationships integrate and alter each other. So our relationships can change our brains and how we think. And how we think can change our relationships and our brains.
Mm-hmm.
And our brains, how they're affected, can change our relationships and um, how we think. And that relational aspect is vital and left out of most of healthcare and all of psychiatry. It's pretty crazy how much depends on our nervous system's ability to function properly
Mm-hmm.
and how much relationships contribute to that and how little, how silent the medical industry is about it.
Mm-hmm.
From a relational neuroscience perspective, virtually all chronic health conditions, including disease and recurrent pain and mental illness, are symptoms of a nervous system that's not getting the support that it needs from the environment.
Mm-hmm.
And for us as modern humans, that's usually the lack of safe connection. When we don't have that, our bodies can't feel safe and they are naturally and normally more hypervigilant, focused on what's the bad thing that's going to happen, what's the next thing I have to do, I have to take care of.
Who
And
I
it
should
becomes,
be.
yeah, it becomes very hard to just be.
Mm. Yeah, what you said reminded me on one old man, a neighbor here in the house. And when I was small child, we never went well along. It was something just like non. It was strange. So I kept distance, and he kept distance. And a few months back, I met him. He's now 93, and it was like I was seeing him going slowly, head down, and the atmosphere was like, and something in me was like, say hello to him. And the old part of me was like, no, 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 he never say hello back to me and everything. I was like, okay, 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 that's the history. Okay, that's true. Acknowledge it. Okay, that's the history. And what is the flow now? Yeah, to say hello to him. So I said hello and nothing. I said, hello, neighbor. And he was like, uh-huh. I'm just wishing you a nice day. He's like, and who are you? And I was like, the neighbor from here. He's like, all those things. And then I had like the body feeling to give my hand on his shoulder. And I said, hello, like just people to people. Yeah.
Mm,
And when I've done this, something in his eyes and his face changed. So it's like light up. And and I held the hand 1 minute on his shoulder. I never done something like that.
mm,
To someone who I never talked to. It's like crazy.
yeah.
And then, and after the minute, he was like, Elias. I was like, yes, Elias. And he knowed me with my old name. I have to change name. And so, Elias, and you are from here, neighbor. It was something like when you see the tree on in the winter, the lights went up like, tuk, 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 poof. And I was like, wow. And I think that this experience is something what we are talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And after that,
You,
I met him more time, and every time I met him, and we have some exchange, and many times I put a hand on him, he remembered me more quickly.
mm-hmm.
And the last time it was like because in the beginning I needed to come to him like really close. And the last time it was like we were a few steps, and it was like hello, and he was like hello, and it's like wow, this was like a miracle.
Hmm. Because you paused and saw him and greeted him.
And I think that is the thing about what I understand about neurobiology in some way.
Yeah, in your body,
Yeah.
lived experience. That's one of the things, maybe the thing I love the most about relational neuroscience is it gives us the words and concepts to understand what we're already experiencing. And when we understand it, we have options for making our quality of life better
Mhm.
by waving to somebody.
Mhm. Yes, the more I understand what is going on, the more I am able to somehow protect myself or to search for resources. I
Mm-hmm.
am like more knowing or feeling what is the resource and what I just think it should be, but it's
Mm-hmm.
not.
Yes, that it clarifies things.
Yeah. Because how I'm experiencing from our relationship is like the neuroscience for me is like really feeling from this part of me.
Yeah, from the inside.
Yeah. Because it's like I always like felt from my gut and all this stuff. And it's like to be able really accept what is feeling my nervous system. And not just like what my body want to do. And somehow it's not the same.
Mm.
I cannot explain right now so good that I how I would like because it's in sometimes it's like it's so new because I'm working with body many years, but this is different. This is different.
The nervous system level.
Nervous system level. Yeah.
Um, One of the really interesting things I learned is that when the when the egg is fertilized and it grows in the womb, it makes a ball, a hollow ball. It starts, and then when it gets to a certain size, it kind of collapses into itself, so it makes like a donut. And then from there, the middle of the donut becomes the spinal column, and the outside of the donut becomes the skin.
Mm-hmm.
So the spinal column and the skin start from the same place.
Mm-hmm.
which means everything that we take in is affecting the nervous system.
Yes. For many years, I am talking about how important it is to physically feel our skin,
Mm.
because of what you said. And it's not easy. It's not easy because the fear in it for many people is that I probably would set boundaries that I didn't set till yet.
Mm. Hmm. And that can be really scary, especially if you haven't been allowed to have your boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
And then, well, what's a healthy boundary? And how do we know that it's healthy? And how do we set it without upsetting somebody else? And
Yeah.
that's a topic for our next talk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that actually would be really good.
Yeah.
I'm making notes.
Yeah. For me, it's like the question, how are we allowed to feel our boundaries?
And it starts with one word: no.
Yeah. It's funny because uh, many times when we don't know what we want or where our way or life is going, we know what we don't want.
Mm-hmm.
And if we
And then,
don't start from this point that I don't know what I don't want, it's like,
mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes that's the first step, understanding what's not okay for us.
mm,
And again, that takes knowing at the body level.
yeah. And to have the space where we can train it somehow,
Mm-hmm.
where it will
Yes.
be
And
like, oh, that is your no, great. Mhm.
yes. Yeah. In small, frequent bits. That's how we build neural pathways, is through frequent little experiences over and over again over a long period of time.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love next time to not just maybe talk about it, but we can show it with body movement, and
Mm, yeah, I
we
like
can
that.
work out something between us as a example.
I love it. Let's do it.
Okay. Oh, thank you for today.
Thank you, Elias. It's always a pleasure.
Hey, people, hello, and have a good day. And if you have some questions or ideas, what you would like that we talk about, which it will be good. You can write us something. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.